Welcome. As president of the Curtain Time Players, I'd like to welcome everyone tonight for our two performances. As most of you know, we normally do comedies, but tonight it's going to be a little bit different. Just for a perfect time of year, a little suspense thrillers from the 1940s, and I hope you enjoy the show. In any event, before we get started, a couple announcements I'd like to make. As you see on your table, you'll see a little playbill which is celebrating the life of Paul Prince, one of our members who just passed away just recently. He's been active in our group for, I'm guessing, 15 years or more. He's done just about everything in writing, acting, directing. A true mentor to all of us. As a matter of fact, he's the gentleman who got me involved with the program. About that announcement is coming later, the cell phones. He got me involved several years ago when I moved here, and I thank him for it, and we're all going to miss him. And there's a little celebration of his life, as you see in the playbill there. In any event, and we will certainly miss good old Paul. I hope everyone got their 50 tickets back there to get Phyllis back on the dance floor. All right, as you know, she's gone through some tough times now, and we miss her energy and her personality, and we certainly hope that you contributed to help out, and there'll be the 50-50 drawing at intermission. Also at intermission, we're going to give away a little complimentary door prize from the Curtain Time Players, so that's why you have your name on the back of your tickets. So I'll pick out a name, and somebody out there will be a lucky winner. Another announcement coming up next Thursday, which is October 24th at 4 o'clock right here in the auditorium. We will have our annual wine and cheese. I call it an extravaganza. It's a way to have some wine and a way to have some cheese and snacks and whatnot. Get to meet us. The ultimate goal is we're always looking for new people, whether you want to be on stage, whether you want to be a technical person, backstage, making props, whatever. We need all the help we can get, and we welcome everybody, okay? So there's a good chance to come in. We have a lot of displays as pictures and videos of things that we've done in the past, because we just keep getting bigger and better. So we look forward to seeing you next Thursday right here at 4 o'clock. Now, this is a little bit different tonight. As I said, it's from the 1940s. And to tell us a little bit more about this, our famous talented director, Beverly Daniel. Bev.
Find the light. But don't go into it. Thanks for coming tonight. We've had a good time working on these two plays. I got the idea for these two plays because I really like film noir, those old black and white movies, you know. All the guys wore fedoras and all the women were beautiful and, you know. But I love those. And I remember seeing the movie Sorry, Wrong Number. Have any of you seen that? Yeah? Barbara Stanwyck and Burt Lancaster. That movie was actually made in 1948, and it was born years before with the radio play in 1943. Lucille Fletcher wrote the 30-minute radio show for Suspense Theater, and that production starred Agnes Moorehead. Any of you remember her? What TV show? Bewitched. Yeah, that's what I always remember her as. Elizabeth Montgomery's mother. Anyway, that show, the radio show was a wonderful success. So Lucille Fletcher, actually years later, 1960, I believe, collaborated with Rod Serling from Twilight Zone. And some of you may have seen that episode. It starred Inger Stevens. They changed the Ronald Adams role, the man driving across the country, to a woman. And I actually remember seeing that as a kid. So what we have done is we took the original radio show, which, by the way, was written for Mercury Theater on the Air. Anybody remember who was the star of Mercury Theater on the Air? Orson Welles, absolutely. And he played Ronald Adams, the role that Fred is going to play tonight, Fred Williams. And so what we did is I went back and looked at the 1960 Twilight Zone episode. I went, ooh. So a little idea came. So we took the original radio show and we adapted it as a Twilight Zone episode, our own version of a Twilight Zone episode. So I hope you'll enjoy that. This is our last show. We did one last night, and I want to be sure and thank some people that don't get a lot of thanks. And because it takes a lot of people to do a show like this. I want to thank our ushers. I want to thank the people who sold tickets. Their names are all in the program. So many people. Our sound people have been here every single week. You'll see that there's lots of sounds because it was a radio show. So there, Carol Page and Fran and Rick that helped us out this time, and Johnny on lights, and we have Tom Myers who did the video, which I think you'll enjoy very much, and also Kay Hink, our stage manager. Let's all say a prayer for Dennis Hink's healing. Kay's been up here, even though Dennis has not been feeling well. Kay's been here every time, and Cindy Willis has helped as well, and Marianne Evans, she made the little telephone, she and Maggie Mott, and has helped in so many ways. And I also want to say a special thank you to my husband Mark, because, and thank you God, this is the first time since we've lived here in 7 years that his health has been so good that he felt like really helping out. So I thank God for that. And for all of you who had him on your prayer list. He did the sets and props, and so it's been fun having him. I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but if I did, I'm sorry. But I thank all of you, and especially you audience, thank you so much.
Your call, please.
Operator, I've been dialing Murray Hill 40098 for the last 3/4 of an hour, and the line is always busy. I just don't see how it could be busy that long. Would you try it for me, please?
Murray Hill 40098. One moment, please.
I just don't see how it could be busy all this time. It's my husband's office, and he's working late tonight, and I'm home all alone. I do so hate being alone, and I've been I'm not well, and I've been feeling nervous all day.
Ringing Murray Hill 40098.
Hello.
Hello? Hello, is Mr. Stevenson there, please?
Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, George.
Yes, sir.
Hello? Who's this? What number am I calling, please?
We have heard from our client, and he says the coast is clear for tonight.
Yes, sir.
Where are you now?
I'm in the phone booth.
Okay. You know the address. At 11 o'clock, the private patrolman goes around to the bar on 2nd Avenue and gets a beer. Be sure all the lights are out downstairs. There should be only one light visible from the street. At 11:15, the subway train goes across the bridge. It makes a noise in case the window is open, and she should scream.
Oh, hello? What number is this, please?
Okay, I understand.
Make it quick, as little blood as possible. Our client does not wish to have her suffer long.
Is a knife okay?
Yes, a knife is okay. Be sure to remove the bracelet, the ring, and the jewelry from the bureau drawer. Our client wants us to make it look like a simple robbery.
Okay, I got it, boss.
Oh, how awful! How unspeakably! Oh.
Your call, please.
Operator, I've been dialing Murray Hill 40098 for the longest time, and I can't get through to my husband.
When you tried, ma'am, did it go through or were you disconnected?
I was disconnected.
I beg your pardon, madam. Murray Hill 40098.
Thank you.
Please hold. Ma'am?
Operator,
Yes?
did you dial the right number?
Yes, ma'am. Murray Hill 40098.
Oh dear, that's not the number that I got.
What number were you calling, ma'am?
Murray Hill 40098. But that's not the number that I got. Oh, some wires must be crossed, and I was connected to a wrong number. And you dialed it.
Did you want me to try to trace the number, ma'am?
Would you please?
I don't know if I can. I really don't understand about that.
Oh, I know it was a wrong number, but Operator, you've got to help me. I know what it is. Your finger must have slipped when you were dialing it, and I was connected with the wrong number. And I was connected. It was the most horrible call, Operator. It was about a murder, a terrible cold-blooded murder, and you've got to trace it for me. You've just got to.
What number were you calling, ma'am?
Well, it was supposed to be Murray Hill 40098, but it wasn't. I was connected with that wrong number, and we've got to find out what it was immediately.
But, madam,
Oh, why must you be so stupid? Listen, I told you to dial Murray Hill 40098, and your finger must have slipped and you connected me with a wrong number. I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. Now, I simply failed to see why you couldn't make that same mistake again. Try dialing Murray Hill 40098 in the same careless sort of way.
Murray Hill 40098. I will try and get it for you, madam.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, madam. Murray Hill 40098 is busy.
Operator, operator.
Yes, ma'am?
You didn't try to get that wrong number at all. I asked explicitly, and all you did was dial correctly.
I'm sorry, ma'am. What number were you calling?
Well, I know it was a wrong number. I know it was the wrong number, and I had no business listening, but these two men, they're cold-blooded fiends, and they're going to kill someone. Some poor innocent woman who's all alone, and we've got to find out what it was immediately. Perhaps you could connect me to your boss. Is the chief operator there?
Yes, ma'am. I will connect you with the chief operator. Please hold.
Thank you.
Miss Curtis, can you pick up on line 17?
Yes, dear, what's the trouble?
Someone wants a call traced, and I can't make heads or tails of it.
Sure. 17,
Thanks.
you said?
Yes.
This is the chief operator.
Chief operator, yes. I'd like to trace a call, a telephone call, immediately. I don't know who was making it or where it was coming from, but it is absolutely necessary that it be tracked down at once. Because it was about a murder. A terrible, cold-blooded murder of a poor innocent woman at 11:15 tonight.
I see.
Can you trace the call? Can you track down those men?
Well, it would depend, madam.
Depend on what?
Well, it would depend on whether the call was still going on. If it's a live call, we can trace it with our equipment, but if the call's been disconnected, we cannot.
Disconnected?
Yes, ma'am, the parties are no longer talking to each other.
Well, of course they've stopped talking to each other by now. That was more than 5 minutes ago, and they hardly sounded like the type who would make a long call.
Well, I can try tracing it, ma'am. Could I have your name, please?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Stevenson, but listen.
And your telephone number, ma'am?
Plaza 42295, but while you're wasting all this time.
And what is the reason you're wanting this call traced?
My reason? For heaven's sakes, isn't it obvious? I overhear two men. They're killers. They're going to murder this woman. Why, it's a matter for the police.
Have you told the police?
No, how could I?
So you're making this check into this private call purely as a private individual?
Yes, but meanwhile,
Well, Mrs. Stevenson, I seriously doubt we're going to be able to make this check for you at this time, just on your say-so as a private individual. We would have to have something more official.
oh, for heaven's sakes, you mean to tell me that I can't report a murder without getting all tied up in red tape? Well, it's completely idiotic. Well, then I will call the police myself. Idiots. Ugh. Jeez.
Your call, please.
The police department, please.
Ringing the police department.
Here's your lunch, Sarge. By the way, they had no jelly donuts, so I got you a nice, fresh French cruller. Okay, Sarge?
French crullers? You should know I have an ulcer. Why didn't you make an apple pie?
I'm sorry, no apple pie either.
Oh, let me get this. Hang on. Police Department, Precinct 43, Duffy speaking.
Police department, yes. This is Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Albert Smith Stevenson of 53 North Sutton Place. I'm calling to report a murder.
Yeah?
I mean, the murder hasn't actually happened yet. I just overheard the plans for it over a wrong number that the operator gave me. I've been trying to trace it down myself, but everyone's been so stupid. And in the end, I suppose you're the only one who can do anything.
Yes, ma'am.
It was a perfectly definite murder. I heard their plans distinctly. These two men, they're going to kill this woman at 11:15 tonight. She lived alone in a house near a bridge.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's a private patrolman on the street, and he's going to go around for a beer on 2nd Avenue. And there's a third man, a client, who's paying to have this poor woman killed. They're going to take her rings and bracelets and use a knife. And well, it's upset me dreadfully, and I'm not well.
Oh, I see. And when was all this happening? When did this happen for you?
Oh, it was about 8 minutes ago. So you can help, you do understand?
Okay. And what is your name
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Elbert Stevenson,
and your address?
53 North Sutton Place. That's near a bridge, the Queensboro Bridge, you know? And we have a private patrolman on our street. And 2nd Avenue,
And what was the number you were calling?
Murray Hill 40098. But that's not the number I overheard. Murray Hill 40098 is my husband's office. I was calling to ask him to come home. He's working late tonight. And I was calling him to ask him to come home early. It's the maid's night off, and I'm an invalid, you know, and I do so hate being alone. Even though he says I'm perfectly safe as long as I have the telephone beside my bed.
Well, we'll take care of it, ma'am. I'll check this out with the telephone company.
But the telephone company said they couldn't check the call if the parties had stopped talking. I've already looked into that.
Yeah, of course, I see, yeah.
Personally, I think you need to do something more immediate and drastic than just checking the call. What good does checking the call do if the parties have stopped talking? By the time you track it down, they'll have already committed the murder.
We'll take care of it, ma'am. Don't worry.
I think there needs to be a complete and thorough search of the whole city. I live near a bridge, and I'm not far from 2nd Avenue, and I know I'd feel a whole lot better if you sent a radio car to this neighborhood at once.
And what makes you think the murder's going to take place in your neighborhood?
Oh, I don't know. The coincidence is so horrible. 2nd Avenue, the patrolman, the bridge.
Look, lady, 2nd Avenue is a long street. And do you know how many bridges there are in New York alone? Much less the Bronx, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens. And what if there's some little house in Staten Island on some little 2nd Avenue you never heard about? And what makes you think the murder's going to take place in New York at all?
Because I heard the call on the New York dialing system.
So, what makes you think it wasn't a long-distance phone call? You know, telephones are funny things. Look at it this way, lady. What if you didn't break in on that phone call, hear those two men speaking? What if you spoke to your husband like you always do? Would this call have mattered to you at all then?
Oh, I suppose not, but it's so inhuman, so cold-blooded.
You know, there's a lot of murders committed in this city every single day. And if we could do something about it, we would. But a clue like yours, it's so vague, it's like having no clue at all.
But surely.
Unless, of course, you think that call is about you and someone is going to murder you.
Me? Oh, I hardly think so. Why would anyone? I'm alone all day and night. I see no one but my maid, Eloise. She's a big fat 200-pounder. She's too lazy to even bring up my breakfast tray. And the only other person is my dear husband, Albert. He's crazy about me, adores me. He waits on me hand and foot. Why, he's barely left my side since I took ill 12 years ago.
Well, then there's nothing to worry about, is there?
But-
You know, why don't you just leave the rest of this to us?
But what will you do? It's getting so late. It's nearly 11 o'clock.
You know, we'll take care of it, ladies. Don't worry.
Will you broadcast it all over the city and send out squads and warn your radio cars to watch out, especially in suspicious neighborhoods like mine?
Lady, I said we'd take care of it. Ooh, wow. You know, as a matter of fact, there's an important matter that just showed up here on my desk I need to take care of right away. So I need to, this requires my immediate attention.
Idiot! Oh, now why did I go and do that? Now he's going to think I'm a fool. Oh, Albert, why don't you come home? Why don't you?
Your call, please.
Operator 40098 number for me once again? I can't think what's keeping him so long.
Ringing Murray Hill 40098. That line is busy. Shall I try again?
No, I can hear it. I know it's busy. You don't have to tell me. Oh, if I could just get out of this bed for a while. If I could just get a breath of fresh air. Or just get to the window and look out onto the street. Hello, Albert? Hello? 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 Oh, what's the matter with this phone? Hello? 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 Who is this? Hello? Hello? Ah.
Your call, please.
Operator, I don't know what's the matter with this phone tonight, but it's absolutely driving me crazy. I have never seen such inefficient, miserable service. Now look, I'm an invalid and I'm very nervous and I'm not supposed to be annoyed. But if this keeps on much longer,
What seems to be the trouble, madam?
well, everything's wrong. The whole world could be murdered for all you people care. And now my phone won't stop ringing.
Yes, madam?
Ringing and ringing and ringing every 5 seconds or so. I must be picking up. There's no one there.
If you'll hang up, I'll try it for you.
I don't want you to try it for me. I want you to put that call through whatever it is at once.
I'm sorry, that's not possible.
Not possible, and why, may I ask?
The system is automatic, madam. If someone is trying to dial your number, there's no way to tell if it's come through the system or not, unless the person who's trying to reach you complains to his operator.
Oh, of all the stupid, complicated. Meanwhile, I'm going to sit here in my bed, suffering every time that phone rings, imagining everything.
I will check it for you, madam.
Check it, check it. That's all anybody can do. Of all the stupid, idiotic. Oh, what's the use? Hello? Hello? Who is this? Answer me! Don't you realize you're driving me crazy?
Hello? Is this Plaza 42295?
Yes, this is Plaza 42295.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram from Mrs. Elbert Stevenson. Is there anyone there to receive the message?
I am Mrs. Stevenson.
Well, the message is as follows. Mrs. Elbert Stevenson, 53 North Sutton Place, New York, New York. Darling, terribly sorry. Tried to get you for the last hour, but line busy. Stop. Leaving for Boston, 11 p.m. tonight on urgent business. Stop. Be back tomorrow afternoon. Stop. Keep happy. Love, Albert.
Oh, no.
That is all, madam. Do you wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No, thank you.
Well, thank you, madam. Good night.
Good night. No, he couldn't. Not when he knows I'll be all alone. It's some trick, some terrible trick.
Your call, please.
Operator, would you try that Murray Hill 40098 number for me just once more, please?
Ringing Murray Hill 40098. They do not answer.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, Albert, how could you? How could you? can't be alone tonight. I just can't. I can't be alone one more second. I don't care what he says or what the expense. I'm a sick woman and I'm entitled.
This is information.
Information, can I have the number of Henchley Hospital, please?
Henchley Hospital? Do you have the address, madam?
Oh, no, it's somewhere in the 70s. It's a very small, exclusive hospital where I had my appendix out 2 years ago. Henchley, H-E-N-C.
One moment, please.
Please hurry, and by the way, do you have the time?
I'm sorry, madam, I do not have the time. You may find the time by dialing Meridian 1212.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, couldn't you?
The number for Henchley Hospital is Butterfield 70105.
Butterfield 70105.
Henchley Hospital, good evening.
I want the nurse's registry.
Who was it you wish to speak to, please?
I want the nurse's registry. I want to hire a trained nurse. I want to hire her at once for the night.
And what is the nature of the case, madam?
Nerves. I'm very nervous. I need comforting and soothing. You see, my husband is out of town.
And were you recommended to us by any physician in particular?
No, but I don't see what all these questions are about. I was a patient in your hospital 2 years ago, and I want to hire a trained nurse, and after all, I do expect to pay this person.
We understand, ma'am, but registered nurses are very scarce, and our superintendent has asked us to send out people only when the physician feels it is absolutely necessary.
Well, it is absolutely necessary. I'm a sick woman, and I'm very upset, and I'm an invalid, and I'm all alone, and tonight I overheard a conversation that upset me dreadfully about a poor woman who's going to be murdered at 11:15 tonight. In fact, if you don't send someone at once, I'm afraid I'll go out of my mind.
I see. Well, I'll let Miss Phillips know when she comes in.
Miss Phillips, and when do you expect her in?
I don't know, ma'am. She went to supper at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, but it isn't even 11 yet. Oh, my clock has stopped. I thought it was running down. What time is it?
It is 14 minutes past 11, ma'am.
What's that?
What was what, madam?
That sound I just heard. As if someone had picked up the extension phone downstairs in my house.
I didn't hear anything now about this.
But I did. Oh, there's someone in this house. Someone downstairs in the kitchen. And they're listening to me now. Oh. I won't pick it up. I won't let them hear me. I'll be quiet, and they'll think, oh, but if I don't do something now while they're still down there, there'll be no time.
Your call, please.
Operator, I'm in desperate trouble.
I can't hear you, madam. Can you speak louder?
I don't dare. There's someone listening. Can you hear me now?
Your call, please. What number are you calling, madam?
Oh, operator, you've got to hear me. You've got to help me. There's someone in my house and he's going to murder me. Oh my God, he's coming up the stairs. Ah! Oh no! Please get the police! The police!
Ring the police department!
Police Department, Precinct 43, Duffy speaking. Police Department, Duffy speaking.
Sorry, wrong number.
It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest girl I know. Goodbye to Piccadilly, farewell Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary.